Our next award will honor two individuals for an entire lifetime of contributions to the horror genre. And thus, it must be presented by somebody with beautiful hair. Presenting the Lifetime Achievement Awards, please welcome the chair of this year's Lifetime Achievement Award jury, Del Howison.
First off, I want to thank the rest of the people who were on the Lifetime Achievement Award Committee, which was Yvonne Navarro, Christopher Golden, Jonathan Mayberry, and Gene O'Neill. It's kind of nice that we're having this live broadcast. I was told before I came here that I couldn't wear a shirt because everyone would be in suits. So I went outside to the big LDS convention going on and had my photograph taken with a whole bunch of people in suits and wrote back and said, "You were right." So, yeah. I don't want the recipients of this award to think that this means your life is over. It doesn't. It does mean you cannot write anymore. Because if you write some piece of stupid shit next year, we're going to look like hell, okay? Rick Hautala, who probably has the most mispronounced name in horror, has written and published over 90 novels, short stories. He's been published in multiple languages. And best of all, he was one of the first authors to have a holographic cover on his book. Yeah. He's the man. Christopher Golden wrote, "At the height of the horror boom in the 80s, he stood shoulder to shoulder with the giants of the era, perfecting the contemporary ghost story. We couldn't have a better recipient. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Rick Hautala."
I'm dizzy. All right, I'm officially an old fart. When Rocky emailed me and said that I'd be getting this award, honest to God, my first reaction was I didn't deserve this. I don't deserve it. And I thought he had made a mistake in that little song from Sesame Street. You know, one of these things doesn't belong. Kept going. And right now I feel a little like Carrie White at the prom, quite frankly. And with Jeff doing the emcee, I expected to see a bucket of pig's blood. But I want to thank HWA, the officers, the trustees, and the committee members for making this colossal mistake. Writing's tough business, because we all know the difference between a pizza and a writer, right? A pizza can feed a family of 4. It's and there are a lot of ups and downs in the business. No matter what level you're at, you'll have ups and downs. And when you're up, you'll have a lot of friends. When you're down, not so many. And there were times when I honestly felt like Davy Crockett at the Alamo, swinging my rifle. And I looked around the ramparts, and I saw the people who were there all the time. And I want to thank specifically Matt Costello, Chris Golden, Rich Chismar, Joe Lansdale, the only real Texan at the Alamo, Ed Gorman, Tom Monteleone, and Steve Bassett. And this is where I choke up. 2 others who fell, Charlie Grant and Bill Relling. I have to thank my wife, Holly, for her patience and suffering. And if you live with a writer, you know what she goes through. But I think what this award really means is if you stick around long enough, they have to notice you eventually. Just be there. Woody Allen, right, said showing up is 90%. And my advice to young writers is I recently read a biography of John Paul Jones, and the motto he kind of adopted by the writer Addison was, "We cannot ensure success, but we can work hard to deserve it." And I still don't feel like I deserve it, but I'm glad some of you do. So thank you very much.
Before I forget and get to trouble, I do want to do a shout out to Bambi on the 8th floor. Thank you. I heard once that a writer was somebody who wanted to tell people a story without looking them in the eyes. So I don't know, maybe that's true. But our next writer has been looking you right between the eyes since he started. Joe Lansdale is the winner of the British Fantasy Award, the American Horror Award, the Edgar Award, and just a few 8 Bram Stoker Awards. In 2007, the World Horror Convention made him the recipient of the Grand Master Award for his contributions in the field of horror. His 2 books that really resonated with me, of course, was Molly's Sexual Follies and My Dead Dog Bobby. Joe Lansdale. All right. I'm not quite sure how Joe Lansdale has time for anything except writing when you consider his output. If he stopped writing today, his countless novels, short stories, comics would make for a library that many authors could only dream of producing. But of course, he won't stop writing, not as long as he's breathing. It's part of him, and it may even be keeping him alive. Ladies and gentlemen, Joe R. Lansdale.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Appreciate it. Stephen Niles, when he heard that I was getting the Lifetime Achievement, he said, "I didn't know you were dead." And that's what I was telling people. Hey, I'm not dead yet. And, you know, Rick was very modest. And he says, "I just can't believe I deserve this." I deserve this. I had this coming, you know. I tell you what, what's a lifetime achievement in writing. When I think of lifetime achievement, I think of my dear friend William F. Nolan. Here is a guy who's got the lifetime achievement, but here's a guy who really, really deserves it. One of my heroes. I just had to give him a shout out. Yeah. Yeah. When I first started writing, and my wife and I talked about this, I never thought I would be successful in the way that I have been. I always felt like that I might write something that somebody might read and enjoy and throw in the trash when they got through. I thought that I would end up doing some other job and writing part-time, and then people read it and liked it. And that shocked me. It surprised me. Now I kind of expect it. You know. It's the way it ought to be. But the fact that you have a lifetime achievement and that all of these wonderful people here, all of these extremely talented people acknowledge it, that is so hard to believe. And I am so grateful. The other thing is that I have to do this because it's so true. I would not have achieved anything. I would not be anything without my wife, Karen Lansdale. I'd still be working in the rose fields or an aluminum chair factory and fist fighting drunks. And I don't drink. But she changed my life. You know, I wasn't like a horrible person or anything. But I I really was not very organized, and she is. And I really there's just nothing I can say that would mean enough. I also have to thank both of my children, bless their hearts, because they have also entered into the field peripherally. My daughter is a country singer and a songwriter, so she's a writer, so she knows what this is like. She's also doing anthologies now, which is, it's one of those things that I thought, please don't do that. I've done it, and it's hard because, and Ellen would probably go, please don't do that. But then Ellen Datlow and Casey, I think, may even try to work together. So, she's not helping me enough. She's got her in there. My son, who is a screenwriter now and also a comic book writer, they have always been supportive, and I thank them. And I thank my dog, Buffy the Biscuit Slayer. She's always there when I need her. Always there to lie down at my feet or to come bother me to go outside and to keep me humble, which is really kind of hard, really, I have to say. Seriously, I appreciate this so much. It means so much to me. And again, because I'm in a room standing with enormously talented people. Thank you.
We have reached that portion of the evening where the audience suddenly realizes that everything I say is postponing the post-Stoker drinking. Presenting the award for superior achievement in a graphic novel, please welcome a former writer for Marvel and DC and the author of the graphic novel Witch Hunts, Scott Edelman and Rocky Wood.
Well, Rocky and I are pleased to be presenting the Stoker Award for Superior Achievement in a Graphic Novel because I think, Rocky, you're graphic and I'm novel. They're the other way around. I'm not quite sure which is which, but in any case, we know Rocky's not in a situation where he can speak over the microphone, and you know the way things go now. We're supposed to engage in banter now, not to be entertaining at all, but to extend the torment of the nominees, and we're trying to figure how can we do this? How can we avoid breaking with tradition? So, well, the first thing we thought was charades, right? Okay, and you'll play along, the home audience plays along. You ready, Rocky, for the charades? Okay. Forward, okay. All right, first word. Sound like, but then we said, no, that's going to take much too long. And our home audience could not join in shouting out, so we forget that. And, then we thought, how about mime? Right? But the problem, Rocky, he refused to paint his face white, and he would not wear the beret because it would not go with his stylish outfit. So, that was completely out. Then we were going to have him do something witty via semaphore flag, but the TSA grabbed those on the way out here, so we were not able to do that at all. We even thought of smoke signals, but for some reason, the hotel, I don't know what the problem is with the hotel, but they completely got rid of that. No smoke signals at all. So, well, after long deliberation, we finally decided we would just read the nominees, and he would hand the trophy to the winner. And so, the nominees for Superior Achievement in a Graphic Novel are Anya's Ghost by Vera Broskal, Lock and Key Volume 4 by Joe Hill, Green River Killer by Jeff Jensen, Marvel Universe versus Wolverine by Jonathan Mayberry, Baltimore Volume 1, The Plague Ships by Mike Mignola and Christopher Golden, and Neonomicon by Alan Moore. And are you ready, Rocky? All right. And the winner is Neonomicon by Alan Moore.